So today's day one and we ended up taking the floor panels off, and while cleaning the floor panel we found something interesting. That is the head of a rat, and there were a few bones as well. And there we go, another skeleton of some sort of animal, probably a rat again. There's so many of those things around. So the floor panel of the aircraft is out, and I think you can see the hydraulic cables much better now. There are just a few of them. There are a few pipes running around. This is an adapter for there's this air circulation fan that we found around, so that plugs into that. Apart from that, it looks pretty simple. There's just some airflow ducts and a lot of cables, and probably dead animals too under this flooring. We're pretty much gonna do the lighting so that we can light up the cabin before we take out the last floor panel, so at least there'll be some way of moving around the cabin. Before we started installing the lights, we drilled a hole for the cables to come out from the cabin.
Yeah, another on that side, so we're just going to drill small holes and then have like just the ends come out and then wire the rest in here.
We then just cleared the space under the floor panel just so that there's enough space to lay cable trays to organize all the cables that run under the cabin. We then had to remove all those pipes and whatnot aviation junk that was under the aircraft just so that we could have a clear, straight path to put the tracks in so the cables can be neatly organized under the cabin. So this basically is the soundproofing material that is in the aircraft. It looks like some rat is actually chewed into it, so it looks filthy. These are the pipes that we've taken out. We did manage to find this air pump kind of thing. What is this thing called? A recirculation fan for the air piping. Yeah, so it's pretty much end of day 2. What we've done today is pretty much just tidy up things inside, because we did take out the floor panel. There was like a bunch of cables and those kind of stuff in there, like that cable there. So we got that out, as well as created like a clear path. So now there's like a clear path so we can install tracks just over them and then run some cables right under it. We're just waiting for the parts to come, so let's see how things go. Well, after that, we started to drill through the cabins the very next day so that we have a hole to bring the power lines and some cables through to under the cabin. If you actually drill straight in one go, the wood actually chips off. But then if you drill halfway from one side, take the drill to the other side and then continue drilling. This is that center hole that's actually gone through for reference. It gives a really nice and clean finish. After a bit of laborious work, we took the air recirculation fan and well, decided to find a way to get it to work. If it's an aircraft part, it definitely is gonna blow and work pretty darn well. So well, we opened up the air recirculation fan because it turned out to be a whole lot more complicated than we anticipated. And believe it or not, everything has been sealed with a layer of, I think what it's called is epoxy coating, so that if it does get droplets of water or something, if it's condensation or if some part explodes, it's all contained really well within. We soon realized that the lighting cables from the top had to go through down to the power sockets at the bottom of the cabin. Well, that kinda needed us to get some wood chipped off. Well, it was a Tuesday or the Wednesday of the 3rd week where luck was on our side. We finally got in the parts that we ordered. The first thing that came in was the speaker stand, and they assembled into a very beautiful shape. And then soon after we got the sound system in and just cabled them outside the cabin. Our cable tray hadn't come in yet, but that came the very next day, so everything worked. After we plugged everything in, we were so happy that everything was working and it did sound so much like a real aircraft, especially with the subwoofer in. And of course, what we're building isn't just a simulator, it's actually a lab. So we need more accurate and precise vibrations on most seats. So for that, we had to install bass shakers in that would actually rattle and vibrate the seats to give you a real feeling of what flying in an aircraft would be like. After a quick install, we got everything
The
working.
shakers.
Shakers is plugged into B.
I can turn it on, can't I?
And it's at 0 now. Okay, so we can actually set this to housing. Slowly power it out.
Okay.
Truth be told, hype was pretty much building up to this moment.
leave that at
because we had to
halfway.
wire everything ourselves.
I'll go have a look inside.
All those parallel series, all those circuits. And we had to even get it all approved before we installed everything. Yes! Yeah, we can feel it. You wanna power up the shakers a bit? Just the shakers. Yes, that's more like it.
Full blast? No, it's halfway.
That was probably one of the biggest milestone of this week. Just getting the shakers, the sound system and the lighting in, and everything worked so beautifully well. So after, just as a safety measure, we started to put the floor panels back on before we got the cables trays in to organize the cables. And since the ceiling LED lights were done, we installed the ceiling panels as well, and they all just snapped beautifully back together. Well, week 2 and week 3 were very hands-on because all our parts started to come in and it was quite exciting putting everything together. The next few weeks is going to be really interesting as we convert this into a simulator that looks even more realistic as we add in so many other cool stuff. Stay tuned to watch. Please subscribe, like and drop a comment below. Thanks for watching. See you later.